Russell Wilson suffered from, which is his coach, his manager, his offensive coordinator. They want balance. It's not so much about Dak Prescott's ability or inability. It's that everybody on that Cowboys team got to eat, B. Everybody got to eat. Whereas other teams, everybody ain't got to eat. And you know me, I got to go eat at the big boy.
And you got to go eat?
So
let me see.
It's time for you,
Let me see what them ankles looking like.
I can jog
them
today,
ankles eating some socks?
I can jog today because the suit's loose. I'm losing weight. I'm losing weight. You know, them chicken tenders in yesterday's game was good. Dak Prescott can't win the MVP. Dak Prescott won't win the MVP, but it's not at all Dak Prescott's fault, and it actually has nothing to do with Dak Prescott. We just have to dive deeper because y'all are owed depth of content on this show. So why won't Dak win it? Well, first off, let's look at the odds. Let's look at where Dak currently ranks amongst everybody. Kyler's currently the favorite, then Patrick Mahomes, then Josh Allen, then Tom Brady, then Dak. This in and of itself is not at all a big deal. Dak is just as talented and playing just as well as nearly every one of these quarterbacks. So what is the big deal?
Let's go.
Everybody gotta eat on the Cowboys, and that's not the same for every other roster. Let's look at who else these quarterbacks gotta feed. Because you got the quarterbacks, but what about the running game? Well, the Cardinals, their leading rusher, James Conner, we kind of know his name. I think that was that dude that played for the Steelers once upon a time. The Chiefs, they got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think he was a first-round pick, but he hasn't really been dominant. Devin Singletary, that's who the Bills have. I mean, he was starting to ascend. Leonard Fournette, oh, he was a dude once upon a time. Shows flashes, but the Cowboys got Zeke, and Zeke needs his touches. Roll the tape so we can see how Zeke got to eat. Can we please? Can we please? Can we please? Now, I just told you, Zeke, he has 64 rush attempts. Edwards-Helaire, he has 58. James Conner with Kyler Murray, he has 53. Singletary with Josh Allen, he has 49. Leonard Fournette, Tom Brady's leading rusher, only has 44. What does this mean? This means that while Dak is a baller, he can't ball in totality because Zeke got a ball too. We tell you on the show because we keep it real on this show. The biggest love language in the NFL is not physical touch. It's not acts of service. It's not gifts. It's not quality time. And it's definitely not words of affirmation. The only thing that affirms you in the NFL is that money, baby. And Zeke, he's making $15 million annually. Chiefs leading rusher, 2.7. Connor, Cardinals leading rusher, 1.7. Singletary not even making a mil. Marcellus making more than that. And Leonard Fournette,
way more.
He only making 3.2. So what does that mean? While Dak has to ball to win the MVP, Dak can't nor will he fully ball because Zeke got to get his too. So no sell, Dak can't win the MVP and he won't win the MVP, but it has nothing to do with Dak. It actually has to do with the organizational structure of them Cowboys. It's going to be better for the Cowboys, but not as good for Dak.
Okay, come back over here.
Can I skip?
You broke that down. Can you skip? That's how you came to my seat last night.
I wish.
Skipping down the damn stairs. My dog. I heard a lot. Heard a lot of good stuff.
Did you like it this time?
I liked it. I liked it. As my teacher used to do in red pen, used to circle a couple statements you made. Let's just circle a couple and say, so who's going to win the MVP then? Okay, that's a red demerit. Let's say also you bring up Ezekiel Elliott in your summary. Here's the problem. Dak Prescott Dak Prescott will win the MVP. Now, right now, he's not the leader in the clubhouse. He is not the front runner to win the MVP. That would be Kyler Murray. But that's my point. Oh, Kyler Murray, as great as you are. Oh, Kyler Murray, you're not a falling star. But look near and look afar, because Kyler Murray, oh boy, there you are in the NFC West. And damn it, that NFC West going to be so gangster. It's going to be so much infighting. Look, it's going to be the Hood, Crips, and Bloods. And throw the essays in there, too. It's going to be a lot of issues in terms of those four teams going back and forth, not only affecting Kyler Murray's performance, and I still think he's going to ball out. But as you pointed out yesterday, it's going to affect Kyler Murray and the Cardinals in the win-loss column. A couple of losses for Kyler Murray's Cardinals will all of a sudden make us look at his performances different, correct? Versus the NFC least and Dak Prescott, who's going to perform stellar as well. But he won't have to deal with the same rigors in his division. So those performances will be highlighted because the loss column won't be affected as it will be in the NFC West. I know you caught that point. It was a tremendous one. Let's talk about what they're going to face in their divisions. And let's talk about what they're going to face in their remaining schedules. You look at Dak Prescott, he's only going to face 2 more top 10 defenses going forward. Kyler Murray, 4 top 10 defenses going forward. That's an interesting point, Marcellus. I'm glad I got that reaction out of you, Acho. Why do I bring that up? Because that lets you know, he's going to go through a little more hell than Dak Prescott. But more so, he's going to go through also some offensive firepower in his division that Dak Prescott probably won't even have to counter in his division. So if you add up the course for Kyler Murray, more difficult. The defenses he's going to face, more difficult. And the fact that he's going to have to put up points himself, but that's going to take them out of their style of play. That's going to be an interesting dynamic. Dak Prescott will win the MVP, not only because he's going to continue to play at this level, and I think Kyler Murray will as well, but we're going to look at him differently when we see that win-loss column.
Big Dog's going to be a phenomenal show, not just because of this block, but, boy, because what we have coming next.
What you got?
But let's stay in the moment, right? Be where your feet are. Let me be here.
Yes.
Peak performance. I love when I get to use my degree. I didn't go back to college to actually learn anything to get my master's. I went back to get my master's, number one, because I'm Nigerian, and you better have a master's. I'll be honest with you. I'm telling on myself. Sorry, Mom and Dad. That's the only reason. Number two, the NFL was paying for it. That was another reason.
Oh, hell yeah. That's number one.
Number three, I wanted to defeat the ideology of being a dumb jock. That's why I got my master's degree. So I don't often get to use it, but every now and then I get to, and you just led me to water, so I shall drink. We can look at Kyler Murray's opponents as why he won't win the MVP and Dak Prescott might. But let me educate everyone now for a moment on what peak performance is and what causes peak performance to arise. Peak performance arises when maximum level of difficulty meets maximum level of ability. That is when you see in life peak performance. If a high jumper meets his maximal height and he clears that height, he peaked. If a high jumper jumps over a height that's not his maximal height, he did well, but he did not peak. So seeing Kyler Murray go against top-tier defenses will actually potentially lend him to peak performance. It's what we saw on Sunday. You have to go against the Los Angeles Rams, have had the best defense last year and a top-flight defense this year. They have Aaron Donald, they have Jalen Ramsey. After Kyler Murray not only won but dominated that game, we look at him differently. Peak performance, when top level of challenge meets your maximal output and your maximal ability, that is when we see you at your best. So we might actually see Kyler Murray peak based upon the difficulties. Now, conversely, there's the other side of the coin. If the maximal challenge is too difficult for you, well, then that's when people choke and they fail. But I present to you that cell to say it might work in Murray's favor. Now, as for Dak, when Dak has historically played elite, the Cowboys have not collectively played well.
That's facts.
When the Cowboys have collectively been elite, 2016, 13-3, winning of the NFC East, Dak Prescott statistically has not been elite, not as far as gross yardage, gross numbers. This is the first time through a 4-game stretch we've seen the Cowboys both be great and Dak Prescott be great. However, I don't think anyone would currently say Dak Prescott has been elite. He's been great, but Patrick Mahomes leads in passing touchdowns with his 14. That would be elite. Dak Prescott does not lead currently in passing yardage. He doesn't currently lead in passing completions. That would be Tom Brady. That would be Derek Carr. Dak doesn't currently lead in passer rating. That would be Russell Wilson. So while Dak Prescott is currently playing great, and there is no knock on that at all, he is not currently playing at the most elite of elite levels because that is Patrick Mahomes, the leader in touchdowns, Tom Brady, the leader in completions, Russell Wilson, the leader in rating. Dak Prescott may own the leadership in completion percentage, I believe, but you know as well as I, completion percentage, it's easier to complete a 5-yard route than a 10-yard route.
I know that.
So with all of that being said, I think those are the limiting reactants to why it will be very hard, near impossible, if not impossible, for Dak to win MVP.
Interesting. Boy, you up here just spilling beans. You know, that's the beauty of doing a show with someone every single day. I spend so many hours with you that I actually keep the receipts. Not even because I want to, just because I always am around you through the osmosis of this relationship. And I caught a couple of those receipts that I now want to return for a rebate or refund. First, we up here talking about Dak is not even top 10. Remember, about a week ago.
No, I said he was top 10.
You said he was top 10, but his numbers weren't.
Yes.
Yeah.
They weren't.
I know.
And they weren't.
They were. And then it turned into, well, it wasn't top 5 because you saw him coming closer.
Correct. And they weren't.
And now you're saying he's not the leader.
Yes.
Yes.
He's
And he's not elite of elite. You youngsters
sir.
out here saying words twice like it means something. I love you. No, just say love me, damn it. Shut up. All right. So now this youngster going to come up here and say he ain't elite of elite, which means he's not leading. Okay. I'm going to go back to the old outro. I like the old outro.